Here is a map which shows you the position of the chief areas of the tropical forest. Here are the forests of Malaya, the East Indies, and of the Congo Valley. There are also extensive patches in British Guyana and Central America. These tracts of forest are immense. In the Amazon Valley alone, there are 2 million square miles of this dense tropical forest. Let us visit one of the lumber camps in the heart of the tropical rainforest. It is in British Honduras, situated on the eastern seaboard of Central America. We begin our journey at the coast. It is low and fringed with unmeasured miles of mud, where mangrove trees grow in tangled masses, and a man may sink to his waist in the ooze that extends for many miles. But beyond this deadly coast, there is a more pleasant tract, a land of savanna parkland, of trees and grasses. Along the river, we penetrate into the mountainous interior and pass into the gloom of the tropical rainforest. Here is some of the densest forest in the world, an impenetrable mass of trees whose trunks are bound by a solid tangle of vines or lianas as thick as a man's arm. Here grow valuable trees such as mahogany. A big tract of forest is leased to timber companies by the government of British Honduras. At first, the company sends hunters to find the mahogany trees that are fit for felling. They are not easy to find, as there is only about one mahogany tree to every acre of forest. The trees are numbered, and a plan of felling is made. Wide open tracts through the forest must be cut as lines of transport for bringing the logs from the interior to the rivers. At a central point, a camp is built. It is a product of the forest, and here the laborers and cutters, as they are called, are to live during the dry season, which is usually about 3 months. The main forest roads are now ready. The axes are being sharpened. The next day, the felling will begin. So large is the buttress of the tree that the cutter builds a slender platform around the base about 6 or 8 feet from the ground, and here, skillfully balanced, he attacks the giant tree. Watch this cutter at his job. In steaming heat, he wields his heavy axe, the rhythmic ring resounding through the forest. For a couple of hours, he swings the gleaming blade, and the red chips of wood fall fast to the ground. He rarely rests, for he has 3 such trees to fell in one day. A deeper cut is made on the side on which the trunk is to fall. The tree trembles. A few more strokes, he jumps aside, a mighty crack, and then with a sudden sweep, the great tree comes crashing down to earth, bringing all surrounding foliage with it. The tree is next trimmed off and the top branches removed. Then the cross-cut saw screeches as the tree is cut into logs of suitable length for towing through the forest. Meanwhile, a diesel tractor is brought up. The men run out heavy chains and attach them to the logs. Usually 2 such logs are pulled by the tractor. The logs start on their way to the sawmills on the coast. It is a long, slow journey through the forest roads, or passes as they are called. Along these difficult trails, the tractor bumps and lurches with its heavy load to a central point where the logs are collected together. Then these huge timber wagons are brought up and loaded with 2 or 3 logs. The tractor, you will notice, is also used for loading. By fastening the chains round the trunk, the log is lifted onto the wagon. When the load is completed, the tractor is attached to the wagons. It starts off on its trek. Through almost impassable swamps, which take hours to traverse. Up steep inclines. The tractor labors to pull the timber train through a morass of mud. Down to the rivers on which they are floated to the coast. There they are formed into big rafts to be towed around the coast to Belize, where the sawmills are situated. On arrival at Hallover Creek, the logs are sawn into short lengths for ease of handling. Notice how the logs are hauled up from the water to the sawmill. A truck is lowered into the water, and a couple of logs are skillfully maneuvered into position over it. These river workers know their job. Watch the way in which they coax the logs into position with their pikes and peavies. The truck is now hauled up the runway, lifting the logs with it right into the mill. Here, a machine handles the logs as though they were twigs. The logs are placed on the carriage of this huge mechanical saw, which then moves off. Note the way in which the log is sliced up into planks of all sizes, none being wasted. As they come off the saw, a native sends them along a conveyor down a chute. At the bottom, they are picked up and stacked into huge piles to dry in the hot sunshine. And now they await export to America and to Europe.